you wonderful people out there. I am GTIT and welcome to my channel. I'm happy to have you. Not only that, welcome to the very, very, very exciting world of Cisco Packet Tracer, also known on these streets as the CPT. Is that true? I'm not sure. I am sure somebody calls it that, so why not, right? Let's start with why we're here. This is a Cisco networking channel. Basically, we're going to go through labs that you would work on in an educational institution such as a college. We're going to be going from more basic to a little more complicated, working with different protocols, things like that. Not only will we have demo videos, we will also have Copilot. We will also have lab sheets that kind of go into a little more detail about what you're doing, why you're doing it. There's pictures of the commands you're running, just so you know what they look like. And of course, we have at the end the Predator handshake. We got Arnold. We got Carl. We got big biceps. That means we are ready to go. Okay, so back to the packet tracer. We have nothing on our screen. It's no good. We can't work with that. We need something. So, because this is lab one, basic switch configuration, we got to get our switch. Network devices, you're going to go down to the switches tab here, and you're going to drag out a switch. We got switch 4. I don't like switch 4. I don't like the name. I like to be a little more creative. Seeing as our switch isn't connected to anybody, switches don't like that. They like to be connected. So, for now, we're going to call this switch Mr. Lonely, just like the song. If you don't know it, look it up. It's a beautiful song. Okay, let's get in here. So, if you don't know what a switch looks like, this is what the back looks like. Here are all ports that your computers in the office building are going to be connected to. Uh, if you're at home, you have your router that your internet service provider provides you with. Not only does it act like a router, it acts like a switch as well. If you look on the back, you'll see maybe 3, 4, 5 ports that you can connect your computer to. Maybe you have you or your kids have a gaming console or a laptop or your television connected to those ports. Uh, of course, in an office building, you might need 10, 15, 20 computers all connected at one time, so you need lots of ports. Uh, there's also more configuration involved, right? Security, things like that. So let's get started. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to get into what's called our command line interface, also known as the CLI for short. Once we're in here, we're going to press enter. You see it says switch. Now we are going to enter what's called global configuration mode. We're going to type in enable, not configuration mode, sorry, privileged exec mode first. And what you're going to do in this mode is basically you're going to manage the configuration. You're going to look through it, see how it's configured. You might run some debugging commands, maybe some more advanced commands. Seeing as we're in basic switch configuration, we're not going to be doing much in here. From here, we're going to be entering what is called our global configuration mode, also known as config mode. We know we are in that mode because it says config, right? Perfect. Nice and easy. So first thing we're going to do in config mode is, you see how our host name here is switch? We don't want all the switches in our office building called switch, right? Then you don't know where you are when you're configuring things. You don't want that. You want to know what you're doing, where you're doing it. So we're going to give it a host name. We already have one, right? You see him over here, Mr. Lonely. Very sad. So that's what we're going to call him for now. So you see that the host name has changed. All right. Now we're going to make Mr. Lonely a little more secure. We don't want any schmuck just getting into our switch, messing things up, right? So what do you got to do with everything these days? You're going to give it a password, right? So we're going to type enable secret. And we're going to give it something nice and simple. 1, 2, 3. Now, of course, on your switch, just like anything else, you wouldn't give it such a simple password. You need your numbers, you need your lowercase, your uppercase, and your symbols, right? But for us here, practice purpose, we're going to make it easy. So now it's got a password for when somebody logs in to privilege exec mode. Uh, we also needed to give it a few other passwords. So we're going to type in line con 0. I'm going to hit enter. So what this is going to do is, let's go back to the back of the switch. You have what's called a console port here. And in this port, you connect a console cable to a PC, right? And from this PC, you are going to configure the switch. Now, again, we don't want just anybody getting in. So we're going to enable a password for when somebody tries to log in through that. So let's go back to our CLI. You can see we are in the line, of course, line con 0 console, and we're going to give it a password. So we're going to type in password again. We're going to be nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put it in here. My alarm going off. My laundry is done. Sorry about that, but we're going to keep going. So you're also going to type in login just to make sure that it happens when they log in through these means. Okay. Now we're going to exit line con 0 and we're going to enter line BTY 0 to 4. Now what this is if somebody tries to get in and to configure the switch remotely through either SSH, maybe Telnet. So for someone who hasn't done it before, just think of Bluetooth, okay, or Wi-Fi. This is wireless. The Con Zero was with the wire, the VTY wireless. Okay, so just like the line con, we're gonna put in our password. We're gonna make it nice and easy. Password 1, 2, 3, and again, we got to make sure that it's when it's log in. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna exit that. We're gonna exit config mode, and we're gonna do one of the more, I guess you could call it advanced settings. We're gonna set the clock for the switch, okay? Because you want all the clocks in your office, all the computers, all the switches, all the routers on the same clock so that they work properly. If they're all on different clocks, not configured correctly, there will definitely be mishaps. So we are now going to type in clock set. We're going to first type in the time. So let's just do it. So let's say 12 o'clock, just like that. And it is military time, right? So if it's 1, it would be 13. 2 o'clock, 2 p.m., I mean, it would be 1400 hours, right? And then you're going to type in the month. So let's just say it's January. Why not? Then, of course, the day, let's say first, and the year 2025. And you're going to put it in. And what did I put? Oh no. We put a semicolon instead of a colon. That will not do. Let us fix our mistake. There we go. And now to make sure that that is set up, we're going to put show clock. And of course there you can see just to make sure that it's configured correctly. There's our time. There's the date. Beautiful. Okay. So one more thing before we end this video. For the next video, we're going to be configuring VLANs and making sure those things are connected. So we're going to just do the basic, super basic setup of a VLAN. I'm going to go back in the config mode. And then here we're going to configure our VLAN. Now, why you need a VLAN? Let's say you have a group of computers, your sales computers, maybe you have 5 of them. Now, you don't want sales and finance. You don't want all the data from sales just going to finance and back and forth because, they'll have information, finance that you don't want sales to have. And you don't want data just going everywhere because it also slows everything down, right? That's why you make VLANs to make sure everything is just a lot more organized and a lot more efficient. So we're going to put an interface VLAN 1. Let's create that. Okay, so now you know you're in there. It says IF, short for interface. And we're going to give it an IP address. What IP address are we going to give it? Let's give it 192.168.1.100. And of course, we got to put in that dreaded subnet mask that we got to put in for everything. We're going to hit enter. So we've given it an IP and of course the subnet mask. We are also going to give it a default gateway. Don't forget the hyphen here. And of course, we got to give it 192.168.1.1. Beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to exit this. And now we're just gonna make sure that we created that properly. Okay, so to do that, we're gonna do show IP interface brief. We're gonna go to the bottom, and there you can see we have our VLAN 1. We've given it the IP address, right? So beautiful. All right. And now that that's done, thank you for watching. And please come back, watch lab number 2, VLAN configuration. It will probably be the longest lab, uh, but again, pretty basic, just a lot of things to do. All right. Thank you for watching. See you again.